Welcome back, everyone. We are following two big local cases making headlines today. The first one involves Arizona, along with a number of states, suing the social media company Meta on grounds that the company developed psychologically manipulative features to hook kids and teens on its platforms, according to Attorney General Chris Mays. Now, Mays is one of 42 state attorneys general to file state and federal suits against the company. The federal complaint alleges that Meta knew of harmful impacts that their platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, had on children and teens. So let's take a legal deep dive. Joining me once again is Hector Diaz. All right, Hector, how do you hold a giant company like Meta liable for this?
You know, it starts with the federal lawsuit that got filed here by the several states. This is similar to when, you had states going after big tobacco for cigarettes, right? And the allegation is that Meta knew or should have known. In this case, I think, there's some allegation that they actually knew and intentionally designed some of these, what you see on Facebook and Instagram to entice and even addict teenagers and children into these social media platforms. Yeah. And so, what's going to be interesting is how this lawsuit plays out. You've already seen a press release from Meta, which says, hey, we wish the states really would have sat down with us and worked out, some of these concerns. You have to believe that, especially here in the state of Arizona, that they would have had those discussions before joining this lawsuit. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. There are some defenses that undoubtedly, when a formal, response is filed, that they're going to make some arguments here.
Okay, well, another local case that we brought you this week, the murder of Lee Rice. Back in 2020, Rice was over at an acquaintance's house in North Phoenix. His mother says her son struggled with drug abuse. His body was later found in a blue barrel, upside down and zip-tied. Police interviewed the witness who claimed Alfredo Gutierrez was responsible. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. But last year, when the trial was set to begin, the case was dismissed because the state's key witness had been deported. I'm wondering, how do you deport a key witness in a murder trial like this, Hector?
You have to wonder, this is maybe a situation where one hand didn't know what the other hand was doing here. There are a lot of questions that, you expect the family and others to be asking here in terms of, did the county attorney's office notify ICE, who deported this witness, really a critical witness? Did they notify them as to the importance of this witness? Were there communications here that occurred so that this didn't occur?
So what can his family do?
At least some of the reporting that's out there is that this is a critical witness, that absent this witness, this criminal case cannot proceed. There's no doubt that the family, if they are not doing this, they should be putting pressure on the county, the state of Arizona. I have to believe that there's some communication going on between the consulate, the Mexican government, various government agencies to get him back into the United States. This is really an unfortunate story, and I think we're going to hear more in terms of from the county attorney in terms of what happened here.
And do you think that charges could be refiled again?
Well, there's no statute of limitations here for murder. And so, if ultimately they're able to get this witness and secure him back to the United States, they could proceed with this murder case.
All right. Hector, thank you.